Jason Garcia, one question. How much does it take for you to get a prima facie for VAWA? About 6 months if you're approved for it. Hi, good evening. Do you find people to be a sponsor for someone if they need a sponsor? No, I do not. You need to come to me with a sponsor. Serene. Hey, Brad. My friend got married and moved to Florida. However, she was extremely unhappy as her husband was verbally abusive to her and refused to file. What are our options? Scared to leave him. Let me be frank with you. You don't have to stay in an unhappy marriage. And if he's emotionally abusive and screaming and yelling, then file a VAWA case, leave him, prove the emotional abuse, which is your detailed statement, and prove you and him live together and move on with life. You don't deserve to live like that. Her Dayjeet. Any prediction on religious workers backlog? It's going to be a while, unfortunately. HA, I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm married, but unfortunately have no kids. I want to adopt my nephews here on a B1, B2, and is 13 years old. His single mom is struggling a lot with illness of the other child. Yes, you can certainly adopt him. And 2 years after the adoption, file for his adjustment. And hopefully he gets his adjustment before he's 18 and you become an automatic citizen. Keep in mind, you have 3 things you have to do. 1, do an adoption before 16. 2, have legal guardianship of him for 2 years. If you don't get legal guardianship, it starts at the day of adoption. And 3, obviously be a U.S. citizen. Brad, do you do same-sex cases? I do all cases from all sexes, same sex, heterosex. I do not discriminate. I help everybody. Jimmy F. Hi, counselor from Germany. How long should I wait for counselor interview EB3 appointment? I was sent the DS-260 fees about Europe. Nobody speaks about counselor processing times. I don't know what the processing times in Germany are, but you figure from the time you're documentarily qualified, at least 6 months. Galacticus. How long for this asylum petition? Depends on when it was filed. If you file it now, it'll be quicker than if you filed it 3 years ago. Katie, what are the time frame to get a response on an I-824 from kids in Jamaica? Well, assuming you approved your green card and you're transferring the case to the NVC, it's about 9 months. Tamika, Brad, when file a motion appeal case in USCIS, how long does it take to reopen back based on the marriage? I don't know anything about your case. It can take 3 months. It could take 3 years. It could take 30 years. It all case specific. Jennifer, my parents are on the process of naturalization. Interview is on April. Should we wait for them to become a citizen to file for my adult handicapped brother, or can they file a petition before April? File now, today, as long as your adult handicapped brother is single, which I assume he would be. As long as he's single, I shouldn't assume. Awuzu. Hello, Brad. I'm 27-year-old Nigerian living in the UK. My mom became a U.S. citizen last year, and I'm wondering if there's a way for her to file for me to come over, and how long would the fastest process take? The fastest process is for your mom to start the visa petition process as quickly as possible, but that can take 6 or 7 years. Something faster, get married to a U.S. citizen, a bona fide marriage. Something faster, get sponsored in a job. Gage. I'm going to get married to my U.S. citizen. I'm currently in Canada on a work permit, but I'm a British citizen, so I have an active ESTA, which I think entitles me to 90 days at a time. What is the best way to go about this? File an adjustment. What would be the outcome? Assuming you're married to a U.S. citizen, you enter the United States on an ESTA, and the marriage happens more than 90 days, and you file more than 90 days after your entry, you would file an adjustment, you would get a green card. If you file before then, you may be denied. Oh, thank you, Great Edwards, for my $10. I really appreciate it. We had to make sure that your question got answered. My mother in Jamaica has an appointment 2 weeks from now. She was told no to show up at the interview by the doctor pending culture test results. Should she still show up to the interview? Yes, show up to the interview. If there's a problem with the medical, they will ask her for more information. If you have an interview, unless it got canceled, show up. Melissa, good evening, Uncle Brad. I have a question. If someone came to the U.S. on a B1, B2 and spent 6 weeks and left, how soon can they come back? Wait 3 or 4 months. Galacticus, been dependent on my mom's asylum as a minor case when I was 16 years old. Do I still apply? Valid already, have 37 years old and married a U.S. citizen kid. I would need to know more about you, Galacticus, to figure out whether you're eligible to adjust your status. All right, last question. I'm a permanent resident holder for 20 years. Can I sponsor my wife to get a green card without waiting for me to get a citizen? Yes, but if she's in the United States and not 245I eligible, she would have to wait on your citizenship in order to adjust her status unless she is going to go home with a provisional waiver. But the answer is yes, but since you've been a resident for 20 years, you should certainly start filing for your citizenship as well.
Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.